Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Firefall podcast. Today, I'm joined by the rest of the band. Firstly, we've got frontman and lead guitarist Nick. Say hello.
Hello.
Nick.
Hi.
We have rhythm guitarist Riley. Say hello, Riley.
Hello.
And we have our drummer Jamie. Say hello, Jamie.
How's it going, YouTube?
And of course, myself, the bass man, Jordan. How are we all doing? So today's episode, we'll be talking about our EP launch show at Bedford Esquires. For those of you who don't know Bedford Esquires, Esquires is a small independent music venue here in Bedford. It's sort of the heart of the Bedford music scene here. They've got a consistency of 3 different rooms. They've got Danny's Bar, they've got Holy Moly's, where we performed in, and of course the main stage, which is upstairs. There's been several big name bands played there, bands like Muse, Biffy Clyro, Royal Blood, and many, many more. So guys, starting off with you, Nick, tell us a bit about Esquires from your point of view.
Esquires, for me personally, feels like a second home, honestly, because not only they've taken us in with open arms, and it just feels like I don't know, like we are the local band, so to speak, when we or the people's band. Excuse me, I'm struggling with a bit of flu for the past few days, so there might be a lot of and sniffing and all that. But yeah, it's just great. Like I said, when I go home, it feels like when I go there, it feels like going home. Honestly, I know all the people know me. I shake hands with more than half the bar, and it's always a pleasure. There you go. That's my thoughts on it.
That's great. Riley, a bit from you, please.
Yeah, I mean, for whatever reason, I didn't really know Esquires existed until I joined you guys, and agreeing with Nick completely, it does almost feel like a second home. You know, we've played the jam nights, we've got to really establish ourselves. We know the people, we know the crowd. It's even if we're not playing there, if we're just going there to show face, it's always nice because you just talk to people and people remember you there, and it's just lovely.
Yeah, no, it's a great place to be, and a lot of friendly people there. So, Jamie, can I hear your thoughts as well, please?
Well, just echoing what everyone else said, really. I mean, we always get a good welcome down there. So it's always good to play down there, obviously. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. And it's a really good venue to go to. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely great. So just a bit of an explanation about the room we played in. It's called Room 2 or Holy Moly's. It's the downstairs, it was used as the club room originally, but now they have a proper stage set up in there, the proper lighting and all the stuff in there to do stuff like this for EP launches and that. So we arrived at the venue around sort of 4:30 for the setup, and the first snag was with you, Riley, wasn't it? So tell us a bit about what happened to you before the gig.
Well, I almost didn't make it. You know, big gig, big event. Last thing you want is a tire to be blown when you're driving, and that's exactly what happened. But yeah, can't really say much more than that because there isn't really anything else to it. But I'm just glad that I was able to get to the gig eventually, all in one piece, gear perfectly fine, and still perform and still have fun.
I think the main people we have to thank for that are your parents, Riley, because they really, really helped us out that night to get you there.
They came in clutch, honestly.
Yeah.
And not only that, sorry to interrupt, not only that, but they always come through with whatever we need. They help with the merch when we can't be there or when we're on stage. They help with logistics and just general moral support, always showing up, wearing the t-shirts and cheering us on. So Thank you very much, guys.
No, it's absolutely great, and they really helped us out that night. So we're going to have a little conversation about our sound and lighting technicians now. So our sound guy for the night was Derek Clark. Derek, for those of you who have been to Esquires, people know Derek really well. He does a lot of the sound engineering at Esquires, and honestly, he's a top bloke. So, guys, give us a bit of feedback about Derek, please. I'll start with you, Riley.
Yeah, Derek's brilliant. You know, both Nick and myself talking about how Esquires is a second home, and part of what makes that such a nice feeling is the sound we get there. And if I'm not mistaken, whenever we've played there, whether it's a jam night or the gig, it's always been Derek on sound, and he's just absolutely phenomenal. And I can't, thank him enough for it.
He's a great guy. So, Nick, let's hear your thoughts on Derek.
I mean, it's a well-known fact that no matter how good the band is, if the sound engineer doesn't help you or isn't doing his job, you're not going to sound good. But luckily for us, not only Derek is a top lad, but he's a true professional. And honestly, it's rare that we get to work with someone of this caliber. So thank you very much, Derek. We're super happy for what you did for us, and moving forward, we can't wait to keep working with you.
No, that's absolutely great, Nick. So, Jamie, let's hear your thoughts as well, please.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, done a fantastic job with the sound. And another personal thing that Derek did was he helped out with the drum kit changeovers, and he helped me out especially with a few things like obviously miking up the bass drum, and he told me how I had to not miking up. Sorry, it was I had to lift my bass drum up to a certain inch from the floor, which helped out with his sound as well. Also, he helped out with I had an issue with the bass drum moving forward, and obviously he was more than happy to help me out with that. So we ended up using, I think, one of the Esquires drum mats or something, which has got a thing at the front of it which stops the bass drum moving forward. So it was an absolutely fantastic experience, him helping out with that. So good help all round, really, to be honest.
He's an all-round top lad, is Derek. He's done a lot for us at Jam Nights and obviously this EP launch, and we really look forward to working with him again. He does do freelance stuff. He runs a company called DC Sound Hire. So if you need any sound engineering in your own venue or private events or whatever, I suggest you go and check him out, because he's probably one of the best engineers here in Bedford. And we can't fault him. He's a top guy. We have a good laugh. And he knows our sound inside out from all the jam nights and obviously various shows. So I'm going to talk a bit about our lighting guy now. His name is Joshua Tunstall. And now we know him from the jam nights as well, and he's a pretty good friend of ours. So guys, let's hear a bit about the lighting. I'll start off with you, Nick, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, I just want to say thank you to Josh, because it was such a surprise for us. We didn't know that he's going to be helping out. So we got the full package, sound, lights, and everything else. We were super happy. And honestly, he kept up with the entire show, because he didn't know all like the set list, but he somehow managed to make everything work, because he was working intuitively. And if you watch the video recordings from that night, he actually managed to like emphasize certain parts of songs just by feel, and it's a whole art in itself. So we're massively grateful for that. Thank you very much.
Riley, did you want to add anything to that?
Just kind of echoing what Nick said. I mean, we had the glitz and glamour with the light, the sound, and it all just kind of came together in like a really nice puzzle. And I think that was the first time I properly realised just how good the Esquires lighting can be, because obviously we've not had that at jam nights and we've not had that at other places. So it's just really good stuff.
No, that was excellent. Jamie, anything you want to add?
No, there's nothing I can really add, which is new. Just a massive thank you to Joshua, really, for sorting out that job. So, like Nick said, it must be well, I suppose if you're experienced doing lighting, then it's not really that difficult to adapt to your surroundings, but you still got to work out certain things. So obviously, we obviously massively appreciate what you've done on the night. So
Yeah, I can't remember which song it was, but I think there was one towards the end of the set. It might have been Raw or Valhalla, but I remember him. I think it was that gig. I remember him doing something with like strobes, nothing, strobes, nothing, and that was really cool. So it was just those like little it was just those little kind of bits that, you know, really highlighted the performance and really brought it all together.
All I can say for me personally is that we've played a bunch of gigs where I ended up blind at the end, but somehow he managed to not blind me, even though there was a lot of strobe and stuff. Like it's an art form, man, and he's got it. He knows what he's doing. We're super happy to work with him again.
Yeah, I think echoing everyone else, we really enjoyed the people we worked with, and when we work with people we get along with and are easygoing, we can it puts us at ease, you know, when we know that we're getting a good sound, a good light, we know there's going to be a good show coming. So a big thank you to those two for the sound and lighting. I'd like to also say a special thanks to Pete Burridge, who obviously got us on the in the venue in the first place. Without Pete, we wouldn't have been able to do this EP launch with the amount of questions I asked him and the band asked him, and he was always so helpful. And we're really grateful to Pete. So, anything you want to say about Pete, guys?
I think you've just kind of neatly tied it up all there. Yeah, he was brilliant with answering the questions, putting up with us, and yeah, just massively grateful that he let us do this gig, because like you said, without him this wouldn't have even happened.
No, absolutely. So Jamie, anything you want to add?
just massive thanks to Pete, really. Like you said, he was the deal breaker in it. So if it wasn't for him, then we wouldn't have done it. So massive thanks to him.
Yeah, Pete is absolutely he's a top bloke, and I cannot fault anything he does at that venue. I'd also like to say a special thank you to Gareth, who actually runs Esquires. Without Pete and Gareth, we wouldn't have been able to do this EP launch. So massive, massive thank you to them at Esquires. And yeah, we're really looking forward to performing there again. Right, so we're on to part two. We had a little bit of a technical connection there, a technical issue there, I should say. But we're on to part two now. So we're going to talk a little bit about the bands. I'd like to start off with our main support band, In Peril. So we met these guys at Daxtonbury, and they were the band which played after us. And what we didn't realise at the time, when we were doing our last song, was they were headbanging in the corner. So they were really getting into us, and we had a good chat with them. After the gig and after they played, and they were saying about they really wanted to come and support us. So of course the opportunity arose, and we thought we'd ask them, and they came along and absolutely smashed it out of the park. So guys, starting off with you, Nick, let's hear your thoughts about In Peril.
You're always starting with me. It's just that I speak so much on all the podcasts. But hey, this time I'm sober. In Peril, what can I say about what are now our friends at In Peril? They are brilliant. They put on a hell of a show, and it's been an absolute pleasure to share the stage with them again. And I think this is the start of a very long friendship and collaboration. You know, a very long professional relationship as well. So yeah, those guys are they're our bros.
They are our bros now. Obviously, they've been a great help to us, and they play some really good music. For those who don't know In Peril, they play kind of hard rock going on to metal genre. So I'd say they've got some pretty heavy songs in their arsenal. So Riley, let's hear your thoughts on Imperil.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we saw in Peril Daxtonbury Festival, which was last year in July, August time. I can't really remember exactly now. But yeah, they were brilliant to watch, and they were just really lovely people to talk to afterwards. And it's been great that we've been able to keep in contact, work on a professional level together. You know, it's like they've been able to help us out. We might even start helping them out down the line as well. So it's a very healthy relationship, and that's part of the fun of being in a band. It's just great helping each other and really seeing each other develop. It's lovely.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, last year was a big year for us, and we did a lot of shows, a lot of festivals and whatnot. And Ed Powell really stuck with us and really wanted to, like I said, they wanted to support us, and likewise, we'd like to support them as well. And yeah, they're just a great bunch of guys. We can have a good laugh with them, good banter, and yeah, it's absolutely great. So, Jamie, let's hear your thoughts on Imperil, please.
Yeah, sure. Well, obviously we played before them in Thanksbury last July, and I didn't really see too much of them for some reason, or I didn't really pay too much attention because obviously we have to deal with gear, and obviously I had a slight issue, and so it was nice to sort of see what they're like fully, and I have to say pleasantly surprised how good they are, and obviously they're massively supportive of us, so it's a great combination. So yeah.
They're absolutely like everyone's echoed. They're a great bunch of guys, easy to work with, and they will support you no matter what. So they do songs like they do. It's all original material. They do songs like Your Decision and Tell Me Once Again. What was the other one, Nick? Which is your favourite?
Oh, my favorite was Frankenstein, and yes, that song kicks ass. It's awesome.
It's a very good song, and so they do some really good stuff. So if you guys haven't seen In Peril, I suggest you go and check them out on Facebook and have a look at some of their gigs. And you never know, you might see a familiar name on one of their shows in future.
Hint, hint.
Absolutely great bunch of guys. Go and check them out. So we're going to talk about our the other support band now, Space Junkie. Space Junkie do a lot of sort of grungy original songs, and it was their first proper show for a while. I believe it was about 4 years since they played a proper show. They've been doing jam nights on and off here and there, but Charlou, the bass player, knows us really well from Esquires, and yeah, she asked whether we needed a support band, and of course we snatched their hand off, and they absolutely smashed it as well. So, so I'm going to start with you, Jamie. You tell us a bit about Space Junkie, please.
Of course, another band I haven't really seen too much of, and again, they absolutely smashed it out of the park. So it was good to have two good support bands before us. So obviously, complimented the whole evening. So yeah.
No, that's absolutely great. So Riley, let's hear something from you, please.
Yeah, I mean, like Jamie just said, I didn't really know too much of Space Junkie. We obviously knew Charlou and are good friends of her, so that I already trusted that they'd do a good job based on that. But yeah, they were just brilliant. You know, really great opener. Really helped set the tone for the rest of the evening. And I couldn't see much because at that time I was sitting by the merch, and everybody that was considerably taller just standing in front of me. So I was just like, oh yeah, they sound cool. But yeah, they were just really fun to watch again.
No, absolutely. So they do a lot of, like I said, they do a lot of sort of grunge original stuff. Songs like Moody and Beyond the Valley of Dolls are a couple of my favourites. I think they played one cover on the night as well. I believe it was a Nirvana cover. So, so Nick, let's hear your thoughts about Space Junkie as well, please.
Before we talk about Space Junkie, I would like to say something about Charlou, because actually this whole thing was her idea. We came at one of the jam nights once, and we were outside talking and playing guitar and all sorts, and just hanging out. And she goes, "Hey, you guys, you should do like a album launch." And we said, "Well, we don't have an album. We just have a little CD with a few songs." Like, do an EP launch, make a CD, because we wanted to put it straight on Spotify and call it a day. And she said, "No, if you do it, me and my band will come and support you." Um, and I'll tell you what, they came through. That wasn't a bluff, because we've been like planning this now for a while. This event support us in like ever since we first met, and they came through. They kept their word, and if there's ever a time when we can return the favor, Firefall absolutely will return the favor for both of these bands. Now, onto Space Junkie. I personally love their sound. I was there in the front, and they sound amazing live. Um, well, I love grunge. I'm a '90s kid. That's where I live, you know. But it was also like a bit of a special night because that was their final gig in this formula as Space Junkie. Now the band isn't breaking up, but they are doing a little bit of a rebrand. I think they're gonna do some symphonic metal, and I don't know, but whatever they do, I'm gonna keep my eye on them because I expect great things from them, especially since we've been in their position as the first act of the night, and you know, not everybody's in the room. The room's like half full, and maybe some of them are just coming from the bar or going to the bar, and it's really hard to get the crowd going like that. But they absolutely did it, and all I can say is well done, uh, Space Junkie, or whatever name you decide to use in the future. I hope that you headline one day, and we will be there opening for you, no doubt.
No, absolutely. They are. It was their last gig as Space Junkie. But if you want to go and listen to some of their stuff as Space Junkie, they've got an album on all the streaming platforms called Space 1989. We will once we know about what their new alias is going to be, we will start sharing them on our socials so you guys can see them. I've actually had a sneak peek of one of their songs called Humans, and I tell you now, it is very heavy. So honestly, go and check them out because they are definitely worth watching, whether they're Space Junkie or their new alias. So yeah,
I
that's it.
mean, I'm gonna miss the grunge personally, but I haven't heard the new stuff, so who knows? Maybe I'll. Well, I know they're gonna convert me to the new stuff. Come on, man, it's grunge.
We all love a bit of grunge, so we can't really complain about that. So we're going to talk a little bit about our set now. We started the night off strong, and we had our own special guest. So Nick, I want you to tell everyone a bit about Jerry, seeing as he's a very good friend of yours. So please explain.
End of ours now.
Of ours, yeah.
Well, Jerry, or his actual name, Razvan Ionashku, but there's two Razvans, and they're both from the same town, and they live together. So one is called Tom, and the other is called Jerry. So this one is Jerry, because if you say Razvan, they both said what? What can I say about Jerry? Jerry is one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, and not only that, he will be I don't know, he's faithful, he's loyal, he will help out, and you know, in a tight whenever if you're ever in a tight spot, that's who you want at your side, you know. And beyond that, uh, he's an amazing pianist and keyboard player. And because we had a lot of trickery going on in the studio, but not a lot of trickery, but you know, we had a few synths there beefing up the sound here and there. We thought hey, why don't I bring Jerry to help us out to actually bring that sound live? Because Jerry and I have been playing together since about 2003 when we met. Oh yeah, we go way back. Holy crap, we've been friends for 20 years. Okay, we're celebrating this year. We went to uni together in Romania, and that was an interesting time because we were unhinged, and we there were a lot of sleepless nights and party all night and all that stuff. And but music was always a part of that. So I feel like our friendship and music, it was like something that came as a package. So yeah, when we did this, what was the biggest thing we've ever done as a band so far, I'm really happy that he got to be a part of that, and it kind of made our bond even stronger if that was even possible. But yeah, it was great. What did you guys think about him?
Uh, well, I thought he did a really great job. Obviously, he came into the practice room with us on the Thursday before the gig and really smashed it out of the park. I mean, we had some issues with the whole effects thing, but once we found the right effects for the right songs, it really opened up. Especially excuse me, especially songs like Love Ghosts. It really added something to it when we did Love Ghosts, especially.
That's his favorite song, or it used to be. Now he loves Oblivion.
No,
Well, he loves.
we all love our songs, and but it really made the night special. And Valhalla as well. We had, for those of you who have listened to the record Valhalla on the CDs, there is synth in the background. Like, so when Jerry did it, we added like sort of a choir kind of effect to the song, and it really worked. It really brought out. It really made the song come alive when we were playing it. Um, but yeah, all around, Jerry's an absolutely lovely guy, and we all love him to pieces. So Riley, let's hear your thoughts on Jerry, please.
Well, I'm just going to start off by saying when Nick was saying how him and Jerry go way back, they've been friends for as long as I've been alive. If that makes you feel old, but yeah,
I'm not old, Riley. It's just that you're a baby.
all right, all right. But yeah, Jerry's brilliant, and like Jordan said, we had a couple of moments in the early rehearsals before the gig where things didn't quite plan out or didn't quite sound right, but they were really easy fixes, and before long, it was just sounding brilliant, and it's a winning combination. You know, don't be surprised if it happens again somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah. So Jamie, let me hear some thoughts from you as well, please.
Yeah, of course. Well, obviously, I was massively happy we got the keys in because I've been wanting it for so long. I mean, I've been chasing the keyboard player for years, and to have that opportunity was really good. And the one thing that I want to point out as well, I loved it when Joe played on Monsters, and that song is really grown on me since the EP launch. So yeah, it was a really good experience to have keys in our songs for the first time. So
Might have something to do with the fact that you love bands with keyboards, like Rammstein.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but Jerry is a fantastic guy and a very good musician, and I've played with him in some of his projects, and I helped out, and we always have a good jam. Like there's never a time when I go visit or he comes to visit and we don't bring our instruments or whatever, an acoustic guitar, something to make some noise, you know. And once we get going, once we get playing, it's a good time. So yeah, speaking directly to Jerry now. Thank you for being there, my friend. It was already a special night, but now it's unforgettable.
Yeah, we really thank you, Jerry. And so, yeah, special thanks to both bands, Space Junkie and Peril, and to Jerry. Without
And
them,
and people might see Jerry again playing with us here and there because well, obviously not every gig and stuff because he's not a part of the band and stuff. But whenever we do something uh bigger, let's say, uh, or maybe like festivals and stuff, or an album launch, Jerry will be there, and maybe he'll play more songs. There you go.
yeah, massive thank you to Jerry and to the rest of the bands. Without their support, we couldn't have really pulled this off the way we did. So we're going to talk a little bit about our set in general now. So Jamie, going to you first. What was your favourite song of the night we played?
You know what? I'd have to take it back to Monsters, I think. Just because probably not there playing it at the time, but after watching the videos and stuff like that, it really came out really good. Well, better than in the past, actually. So, yeah, Monsters was really good, which I liked. And obviously, Ra was a good one to finish off. So, those are two songs I really like from the night.
No, absolutely. Yeah, they're two great songs. So Nick, let's hear your thoughts. What was your favourite song of the night?
Well, I always enjoy playing Monsters and other songs where the guitars kind of come down, take like a back seat a little bit, and I get to actually sing instead of shout and trying to cover, the noise. Because a lot of the time it feels like that. Obviously, in the studio, I have the headphones on and I can actually focus on the singing. But when I play, it's mostly, oh, don't mess up on the guitar, don't mess up on the guitar, because I'm not a big virtuoso shreddy guy. I just uh, I just do the best I can. So I love singing on Monsters and I love playing that song. And I really love playing the new songs. And of course the standout here is Oblivion because okay, it's a bit of a longer song, but it has such a strong message behind it, and it has such beautiful parts that we really worked on for well, as much as we could on it was a bit of a short notice. It's a bit of a new song for us, and we only played it like a couple of times before. But there's harmonies and there's rhythms and there's cool riffs and there's singy parts and growly parts. She was just great, and the drums are very complex there. And yeah, you guys did a great job. I can't pat myself on the back, but I can pat you guys on the back. You smashed it because it is a challenging song, and it will be on the album. Hint, hint. Yeah.
So that was great. Riley, let's hear your favourite song of the night, please.
I think I've got it's a debate between two songs. I mean, Valhalla is always a fun one to play. I think it's my favourite on the overall EP, and obviously with Jerry in as well in the mix, it was just a perfect combination and was really really lively, really energetic. The crowd loved it. It just really makes it so much better. And even though there are a few little niggles and little bits that listening back I absolutely hated, I think Oblivion as well. We had 2 days of rehearsals where we played it. That was our first time playing it live, and so much could have gone wrong, and so much didn't go wrong, and so it was just brilliant. It is a challenging song. It is a long song, but again, it is just like a puzzle. So many pieces just kind of slot together quite nicely, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah, because we had 3 days of rehearsals, but the first one was just playing the old stuff, shaking off the rust, like we say. And the second one was working on the new stuff and stuff with Jerry. And yeah, but we also did something different. I don't know how many people noticed. When we played Ziua Drăjitoarelor by Cargo, one of our covers, one in Romania, um, usually you do rhythm and harmony, and I do lead and harmony. But this time we swapped. I was rhythm guitarist. So yeah, uh, slowly we're gonna see more of that. You taking on a more active role in the leads department, but so it's not gonna be like I'm lead guitarist and you're rhythm. We're guitarists. We're gonna be guitarists. We're gonna have songs where you do the leads. We're gonna have songs where I do the leads. We're gonna have songs where we both do the leads because, well, we usually do. We got the intertwining harmonies and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a very positive change to our sound.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And Riley, you'll have the pressure of doing the lead, then, wouldn't you? So just going back to favourite songs, I mean, it's very difficult for me because I enjoy a lot of the songs we play. Stuff like Mother Autumn. When I first heard that, I really enjoyed it, and obviously playing that, I really enjoyed it as well. Valhalla and the other EP songs, Love Ghost and Autumn Rain, all went really well. We tried out the distortion on the bass during Autumn Rain. There was some niggles, don't get me wrong, but I think it still went down pretty well. But normally the one for me and the one we always play last is Ra. And the great thing about Ra is the crowd love it. And when the crowd love it, we love playing it. And me and Riley decided on a spare of the moment thing like we normally do, is we thought we'd jump into the crowd and get them involved as well. And I think people really love that. I don't think they actually realised what was going on until it happened. So
I didn't realise what was happening until it was happening, because I was like, are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? So as we started, I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. And when you just kind of walked up to me and was like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, all right, we're doing it then. So it was brilliant.
I think I was looking at you, Jamie. I was turned towards the drums, like, yeah, let's do it. And you know, the ending riff there was building up, and then I turn around and it was just me on, on stage. Like, I was like, ah, okay, off they went.
But no, that was probably for me, Ra being the last song. We always enjoy playing that song last, and it was absolutely great. So yeah, that's everything about the actual show itself. We're going to talk about a bit about the audience now, moving from there. We were blown away by the amount of people who actually turned up. On the night, we looked at the online ticket sales, and there was about sort of 35 to 37 tickets sold. And we thought, well, we made the money back. Let's just go and have a good night. And when we were seeing the amount of people actually coming through the door and buying on the door, we're absolutely amazed. And we can't take full credit for that, obviously. The bands In Peril and Space Junkie all brought in their own crowd, and it just went down really well, and everyone had a great night. So, so guys, starting with you, Riley, what did you think about the audience and the crowd participation and everything?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we had like 30-ish, 35-ish tickets bought beforehand. And I know before even then, we were having conversations of, oh, maybe we won't sell enough. Are people going to show up? Are we going to break even? Are we going to make anything? And short answer, yes, we were incredibly wrong. People showed up on the door in droves. I think there was one point, I think you came over to me because I was standing by the merch, and you were like, there's 40 people came through the door. And I think we all had the same reaction of, you're what? Like, we couldn't quite believe it, in a good way, of course. And there must have been, what, 80, 90, possibly even more people in there. And so you feed off that energy and you feed off the crowd, and it just makes you perform so much better. And I don't know how many people had seen us before. I don't know how many people this is their first time seeing us. I don't know if anyone just walked in the door completely unaware of who we even were and were like, oh, cool music, I'll go on in. But everyone seems to really enjoy it and really have a good night, which means so much to me, and I'm sure it means so much to all of you guys as well.
No, absolutely. I think there was a moment during the night when I was actually when I was that shocked that there was that many people there that I actually asked who'd seen us before, and who was the first time was for some people it was the first time seeing us. And I think there was actually more hands for first time seeing us than regulars, and I think that was a big shock to me. But well, like I said, we can't take away credit. Credit to Space Jungle Impale. They brought in their own people, and everyone had a great night. So Jamie, tell us a bit about the audience. I know you couldn't see much, but
well, of course. I mean, firstly, absolutely amazing how many people turned up, because obviously we was worrying before how many people was going to turn up and this and the other. Obviously, we worked hard to promote it on our socials and stuff like that. But of course, there's me where I'm on stage, and the problem is being a drummer is obviously when you got like I think there's like a smoke machine kind of thing that goes off, and this and the other, you can't actually see the crowd. So obviously, it's a bit difficult for me to feed off the crowd in a sense. I know you can hear them, but yeah. But afterwards, we had the crowd coming up to us and saying how good we was and shaking our hands and stuff like that. So the crowd was absolutely amazing, to be quite honest. And I have to say thanks to everyone for turning up. So
yeah, it was absolutely special for us. I think that was our. We've done headline shows, but never in a proper music venue like Esquires, and it was the first time we sort of gauged an audience like that for a headline show. So Nick, tell us a bit about your thoughts about the audience as well.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we headlined and so many people showed up, it means that people really like us and they wanna support us. And of course, there were a lot of people who were there for the first time as well, because the people who like us brought their friends, and that was amazing. And I hope whoever was there for seeing us for the first time ever left as fans, or at least pleasantly impressed. The reason we keep saying about the money is because we were worried, yeah, how many people are going to show up. Everything we had as a band, we put it into that, and we were hoping to break even. But the fact that we are now closer to our goal of getting enough money to record a proper album, a full album, just blew all our expectations away in a most positive sense. The room was packed with people who loved us, who supported us, and for that we are immensely grateful. And it was easily the best thing we've ever done as a band. Just seeing everybody cheering us on and putting out this amazing energy that reflects on the way we perform, and we throw that right back at them, and it gets to be like this circuit, this loop of good vibes. It's something that frankly it's addictive, and I hope we get to do this for the rest of our lives, or for as long as possible.
No, absolutely, yeah. We all had a really good night, and without the audience and the band and everything like that, we wouldn't have pulled off something so special. So once again, we'd like to thank everyone who was involved with the planning, the playing, the participation, everything like that. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this sort of stuff. So we really appreciate your support. And we really appreciate the band support and the venue support and everyone who's helped us along this journey. And no doubt, when we play again, we hope to see a lot of you there. And yeah, like I said, big thank you from us. And you can still buy physical copies of the EP along with merchandise. So just drop us a message on our social media pages if you're interested in having all that. So starting off with you, Nick, let's have our closing thoughts, please.
Well, without repeating everything that's been said, or trying to anyway, I would like to say that I'm super happy that heavy metal is very much still alive and kicking in Bedford. And this whole thing that we did uh, has given us the courage to dare to do bigger and greater things. So expect that from us. And thank you to all of our fans and all of our new fans and all the people that came to support us and everyone that helped us help make this whole event possible from the bottom of our heart. Thank you.
No, that's lovely, touching words. Riley, your thoughts, your closing thoughts, please.
Just echoing what's been said already to the people that are still watching this episode. Thank you so much for sticking by and watching them all, especially if you've watched the previous episode as well. And yeah, just thank you so much for all your continued support. You coming to our gigs, wearing our t-shirts, listening to our music, even just following us on, social media. It does mean so much to me, and I'm sure it means so much to you guys that we're able to connect with people. And yeah, just thank you so much, really.
No, absolutely. Jay, your final thoughts?
Yeah, sure. Just thank you for everyone that supports us, and yeah, just thank you to everyone who helped us out for the EP and all that lot. So, and thank you to the bands who supported us. And yeah, the other thing I could say is please subscribe to Firefall's channel. Please follow the Instagram. Please follow our Facebook, and keep updated with everything. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah, special thanks to the bands involved in the EP launch, to Pete, Gareth, who run Esquires, and Derek and Josh, who did our sound and lighting, and especially to everyone who has supported us on this journey so far and can keep continuing to support our journey, new and old fans. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
And to Mick and Irene, you're an absolute champ because you showed up to a heavy metal gig after having major surgery. So keep it up. You're badass.
Yeah, so massive thank you to everyone. And yeah, that's all we have time for. So thank you very much for watching. It's a goodbye from me and the rest of the guys. Thank you for watching. See you later.